Very good. Thank you. All right. We are going to call this regular meeting of the Martin County School Board to order. We will now have Pastor Ted Andrada from Redeemer Lutheran Church say an opening prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, I do not see him here. We will have a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Superintendent Maine, fellow members of the board, Martin County community, please join me in welcoming the Port Salerno Elementary Stingray Choir under the direction of Miss Daniela D'Angelo Lewis. The Stingrays will be performing their original song, We the Stingrays. They will also perform My Favorite Things from the classic musical, The Sound of Music, Golden Globe nominee for Best Original Song from Anastasia, Once Upon a December, and Dos Oruguitos from Encanto.
We are the Stingrays at Port Salerno, come catch the fever. We are the Stingrays at Port Salerno, swim and we slay, learn every day. We are self-aware, winning attitude. We have integrity and motivated too, because we are the Stingrays at Port Salerno. Come catch the fever, you won't believe it. Swim and we sway, learn every day. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. press through the silver storm. Figures dancing gracefully across my memory. Someone holds me safe and warm. Horses press through the silver storm. Figures dancing gracefully across my memory. Far away, long ago, dim, dim, dim as an ember. Things my heart used to know, things it yearns to remember. And a song someone sings. Once upon a December. Dos oruguitas enamoradas pasan sus noches y madrugadas llenas de hambre, siguen andando y navegando el mundo que cambia y sigue cambiando, y navegando el mundo que cambia y sigue cambiando. Ay, oruguitas, don't you want to tie? Both of you know it's your time to grow, to fall apart, to reunite. Wonders around you, just like the other side. Just when we guide, just when we fight, to wait till tomorrow. Ay, mariposas, no se aguanten más. Hay que crecer, darte y volver. Hacia adelante seguirás, ya son milagros, rompiendo cristalinas. Hay que encontrar su mejor futuro. Ay, mariposas, no se aguanten. What do you know? It's your time to grow, to fall apart and reunite. Wonders around you, just like the walls come down. Once when you hide, you fly till you fly. You're ready for tomorrow.
Thank you. You all did a beautiful job. It was such a pleasure to have you here today. Mrs. Falls, will you
Can I
please?
just say something? The audience couldn't see the teacher, and the enthusiasm that she has is. I was happy to have my eyes on you as well. That was amazing. Thank you. And I understand there's 20 other students that were not able to make it that are part of her group, so we missed them, but hopefully you'll come back again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Fault, will you please call the roll?
Mr. DiTerlizzi,
Here.
Mrs. Roberts,
Yes.
Mrs. Powers,
Here.
Mrs. Pritchett,
Here.
Mrs. Russell.
Here. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the following items added? 7.06, items updated, 7.02, 18.03, 18.04, 18.06, items removed, 7.01, and 21.01.
Move approval of the agenda as you stated, Madam Chair.
I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pridgett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I'd like to remove item 7.02 from the consent agenda, and then I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda, moving 7.02 to the action only.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a motion by Ms. Powers, a second by Ms. Roberts. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We will now move on to item number 12.01, board member discussion. We have topics for February 2nd joint meeting. Are there any items that you would like to see presented at this meeting by our staff, or items you would like to bring forward to the group?
So obviously we'll be talking about controlled open enrollment, correct?
Yes, that is correct. That is on one of the topics.
Okay, and we'll also be doing the update for the enrollment numbers by school and by,
At the same time.
Right,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Anyone else? All right, thank you. Next up, we have our student representative, Austin Connolly.
Thank you.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had one other thing for board member discussion. Our June workshop date is scheduled for June 4th, which is the day before we need to be in Tallahassee the next morning. So I was wondering if anybody would be interested in moving that to the next week, June 11th.
Let me look at that.
What do we have to be in Tallahassee?
That's the summer conference.
Hold on.
It just makes it awful late driving into the sun on Tuesday.
I do not have a problem with that if everyone else works.
June 4th, yeah, and it's a budget workshop as well, which means it might run longer than normal. Does everybody?
I don't know. I had to hold on.
Okay.
I'm good. I've got it changed already.
And I'm also wondering if maybe for the joint meeting, we could have an update from SPAM, maybe since SPAM has had their, if they would like to come and talk to whoever is at that meeting. I think it's a good time for them to come, and if anybody else thinks that's a,
It might be the wrong time of day, but maybe we can get a hold of James and find out.
but somebody, I mean, even if
Somebody
somebody
could.
came and rolled one of their videos or something, I mean, I think it would be something that would be of interest to the community. So, I mean, I know they have those, a lot of those videos, so.
So I cannot do June 11th, but that's it. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay, it's a budget one, Marcia, so that's,
yeah, we need you here.
can you do it a different day?
Is there any other day or time that would work for you?
I'm out of town that whole week of June 5th, and then like what day are we thinking? When does it have to happen?
You can do it the 3rd if you're available.
Can we do it maybe the 28th, the week before? Does that work?
Would you be able to do the 3rd? If we did it, if we moved it to the day before?
That's a Monday. Oh, yeah. It's my birthday.
Just leave it on the 4th, I'll just
But I
try.
don't mind calling in if
That's fine.
somebody would get this.
And I'm okay if I have missed it.
No, but it's a budget one, so I think we should all be here since it's the last budget workshop.
So,
So that's okay, we'll just leave it on the 4th?
I mean, can we do it earlier? What time is the?
Sure.
What time do you need to be in Tallahassee?
It's in Tampa, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just go late.
Oh.
I'll just drive. It doesn't matter. Because I don't want to leave during rush hour. So, I mean, that's fine. I'll just go at night. That's okay. That's fine. We'll just leave it on the 4th.
3 o'clock instead of 4?
Doesn't matter. We can do it at 4. Doesn't make any difference to me.
It wouldn't be any better.
No, doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
So we'll just leave it on the 4th, okay?
Pray for clouds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions before we move on? Okay. All right, Austin, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm going to start with Jensen Beach High School. The Jensen Beach High School Drama Department will be performing their upcoming spring musical, The Addams Family, February 22nd to 25th. 9 students performed and or presented technical theater projects at the District 15 Thespin-Thesby Festival on December 9th. The students earned 4 superior and 4 excellent ratings. The Falcon football team was awarded first place for the Florida High School Athletic Association's Fall Academic Team Champion Award for Class 3S. Both the boys and girls bowling teams were named district champions for the first time in school history. Martin County High School. The MCHS Cambridge program will host a prospective parents' night for all incoming freshmen on Wednesday, January 17th. We invite all future Tigers to attend and learn more about this rigorous academic program. MCHS SGA will be celebrating Literacy Week from January 22nd to 26th. Students will have the opportunity to dress as some of their favorite childhood book characters. This week will end in a pep rally that will incorporate literacy themes as we celebrate our fall and winter sports. Spam is cleaned and moved into the new facility provided by the Martin County School Board. An open house was held and it hosted the first robotics competition kickoff for the 2024 season. The team is meeting regularly as computer-aided design models are being made, prototypes are being tested, and game strategies are being developed as the team prepares for the competition season. As part of CTE month in February, MCHS is proud to share that 9 students will be competing in the Regional Skills USA contest in Orlando on February 15th. Martin County High School is looking forward to welcoming all 8th grade families for the Freshman Showcase on February 21st, beginning at 5:30 p.m. Students and families will have the opportunity to learn more about the wonderful academic, extracurricular, and athletic programs on our campus. South Fork High School. 112 CTE certifications were earned in the first semester at SFHS. In celebration of CTE month in February, SFHS will select a CTE Teacher of the Year, a senior to represent each academy for Student of the Year, and a Business Partner of the Year. Esports competed in the League of Legends in its first semester, placing second in the Florida Sunshine League. We play another season of League starting in spring and will start a Smash Brothers team for competition. SFHS celebrated Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, where students shared their gratitude with Deputies Ruby and Wishar. SROs have an incredible impact on schools' improvement goals and help with a sense of safety and community on each campus. Thank you, SROs.
Thank you, Austin. Now we have our district update with Jennifer DeShazo.
So, Austin, did you say that the CTE showcase was at Martin County High School? Is that what you said? On February 21st?
No, they're welcoming all the 8th grade families for the freshman showcase. Yes,
Okay.
on February 21st.
Okay, at Martin County High School.
At Martin County High School.
Thank you.
Excited to bring you the first district update of 2024. Students and staff at South Fork High School are going above and beyond to support the personal needs of their classmates. Developed by the school's SGA, the Bulldog Closet Thrift Store is now open for business. The concept for the store was originally inspired by a teacher donating clothes to a student in need and quickly developed into a campus-wide initiative. During the holiday break, WPTV took an in-depth look at how the Bulldogs have made it their mission to support and uplift their own.
So many hoodies in here.
Welcome to the Bulldog Closet, a new on-campus thrift store at South Fork High School by students for students. It's a safe space to shop, find great bargains, and pay it forward through fashion.
As educators, we're always looking for that next thing that we can do to give back.
Teacher Kyle Gorton is spearheading the effort after a fellow teacher donated her own clothes to a student in need.
I'm immensely proud that I had a part in it, but more importantly than the outcome of this, I'm proud of the impact that my students are going to have on their fellow classmates.
They all have their own role in making this vision a reality.
I thought that this would be a great opportunity to help other students and other people.
Everything is color-coded based on price, but there are some students who shop based on need, and not only do they get the clothing for free, but they also get a bag like this, full of toiletries and other daily necessities.
I hate that we have students in our community that need this. But the end result was to be able to provide it is amazing. So heartbreaking and thrilling at the same time to know that that need is being met.
That's not the only need the South Fork family is meeting this holiday season.
Within 3 days, I raised $1,050.
Cafeteria manager Mary Ellen Burgos says when she discovered the lunchroom debt was approaching $800 this school year, she reached out to her South Fork staff.
I know these teachers, they understand the value of the students getting a fresh meal and how it helps them with the learning process and helps them focus.
No student is ever denied a meal, but when they don't have the $2.10 for lunch, the debt adds up.
I was overwhelmed with phone calls and emails saying, you know, how could they help?
Back in the Bulldog closet,
knowing that we're helping kids here at school is also, it's near and dear to me.
These students are ready to watch their hard work building a business support their fellow students.
There is kids at our school that can't afford clothes and wear the same clothes day after day, so knowing that they're able to come here and get a new outfit, get new shoes is really it makes me feel really good.
Stephanie Suskind, WPTV, News Channel 5.
So many hoodies.
Martin County's champion robotics team, FRC Team 180 SPAM, has kicked off its competitive season in its brand new home. As many of you are likely aware, the district is providing a 6,000 square foot space for the team just on the other side of these walls. And as part of this new partnership, students will now have access to state-of-the-art equipment for designing, building, wiring, and programming their robots for competition. To celebrate the move, the team recently held an open house to showcase its new facility and allow for robot demonstrations, all in SPAM's time-tested spirit of gracious professionalism. The team's open house made the front page of our local TC Palm newspaper, and I ask you to keep a lookout on our website and social media channels because a complete recap of the season kickoff will be coming. Middle school students across Martin County are learning to apply algebra to real-world scenarios through the District and Education Foundation of Martin County's Re-Engineering Algebra program. As part of the Education Foundation of Martin County's program, participating students from each middle school recently had the opportunity to learn from civil engineer Mark Love on how math is used to create traffic flows at intersections. Although his lesson focused on civil engineering, Mr. Love highlighted how algebra is directly involved in numerous real-world settings and applications. We appreciate the Education Foundation of Martin County for making this unique and memorable learning experience possible for our students. Let's take a look at what they've learned.
In 2 words,
we solve problems.
Middle school students are learning how engineers use algebra on the job.
I will ask you questions about things you've never thought about before, and we will do math, 8th graders.
Mr. Mark Love is the founder of Engineers Teaching Algebra, and in his classroom, it's all about making a real-world connection.
I openly admit to these 8th graders that I was not convinced at this age that algebra would ever be very useful to me. And I was wrong about that.
As a civil engineer, he used math every day. In this re-engineering algebra program, sponsored by the Education Foundation of Martin County, Mr. Love shows them how.
Who can go in phase number 2, please? Yes. It's gone in phase 1, but why not? If it's safe, why not move it again?
And as you can see here, the kids were completely engaged. I heard them at the end of the lesson, I'm going to be doing this all through lunch. And I was like, yes, because that's what we want to see. We want to see the kids excited about it. We want them applying it.
The scenario, calculating the traffic pattern at a traffic light.
That is the fraction of traffic that the overall cycle gets. Everybody do that, please. 315 divided by 1235 times 90.
It was a little confusing at first, but once I figured out the mathematical equations to help you solve it, I got the hang of it.
Not only was this fun for students, it was an eye-opening experience.
In class that you should really pay attention because there are a lot of job opportunities and it has to do with a lot of stuff in real life that you don't really think about.
That realization was the solution Mr. Love intended.
I want them to know that the math is everywhere. So I'm going to give them an engineering look, but I also want them to know that it's a big data high-tech world, and it's everywhere, including in the algorithms on their social platforms.
Four members of our graduating class of 2024 have been nominated for this year's Pathfinder Awards, sponsored by the Palm Beach Post. The Pathfinder Awards are presented each year to the 54 best and brightest seniors across Martin and Palm Beach counties, acknowledging their achievements in 18 academic, vocational, athletic, and art categories. Scholarships for the awards exceed $100,000. Please join me in congratulating all of our nominees. For the Academic Excellence category, Addison Moody of Jensen Beach High School, Liam Ferguson of Martin County High School, and Avery Baker of South Fork High School. In the art category, Allison Gimbel of Jensen Beach High School, Brooke Vanderwarn of Martin County High School, and Daphne Dalton of South Fork High School. In the business category, Devin Gockenbach, Jensen Beach High School, Paul Dalton, Martin County High School, and Haley Dangerfield of South Fork High School. The career and technical education category, Nathan Bartley, Jensen Beach High School, Sydney Launay, Martin County High School, and Zach Anderson, South Fork High School. Communications, Layla Mayfield, Jensen Beach High School, and Alexander Arancibia Hall, Martin County High School. Community involvement, Grace Fenedick, Jensen Beach High School, Brady Gillen, Martin County High School, and Alexis Mazarigos, South Fork High School. Computer engineering and technology, Egan Hammond, Jensen Beach High School, Sean O'Shea, Martin County High School, and Melanie Shoemaker, South Fork High School. Forensics and speech, Ashley Crosby, Martin County High School. History and political science, Jack Wintercorn, Martin County High School, and Brady Corrin, South Fork High School. Literature, Owen Morris, Jensen Beach High School, Elizabeth Collier, Martin County High School, and Andrew Robinson, South Fork High School. Mathematics, Paige Riley, Jensen Beach High School, Braden Southwick, Martin County High School, and Connor Wiggins, South Fork High School. Music Instrumental, Colin Belleville, Jensen Beach High School, and Luis Medina, Martin County High School. Music Vocal, Catherine Dunnell, Martin County High School, and Logan Jacobs, South Fork High School. Science, Sarah Shoppy, Jensen Beach High School, Nira Goyle, Martin County High School, and Gabrielle Guerrero, South Fork High School. Sports, Bryn Stoneberg, Jensen Beach High School, Dakota Moberg, Martin County High School, and Nick Chang, South Fork High School. Theater Arts, Samia Henry, Jensen Beach High School, and Victoria Seagot, Martin County High School. And World Language, Gabriela Camacho, Jensen Beach High School, Steven Sovich, Martin County High School, and Ever Martinez, South Fork High School. Let's give those outstanding seniors a round of applause. And until next time, you can find us wherever you scroll. Please take the opportunity to connect with us at the platform of your choice.
Thank you, Jen. Superintendent Main, would you please share your superintendent's update?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'd like to begin by thanking Port Salerno Elementary Stingray Chorus, choral director, music teacher, and also Ms. Gifford for being here this evening and having your students perform. It truly is a beautiful reminder for all of us up here and for staff in the audience why we do what we do every single day is for students. So thank you. I want to start off by talking about our engaging our community with our local town hall meetings that will be coming up. The district is set to host its first community town hall session tomorrow, January 17th. The event, which will begin at 6 o'clock p.m. at J.D. Parker Elementary School, is designed to engage our community in conversations about issues impacting education. If you remember back during my 90-day plan when entering in as superintendent, one of the biggest pieces that I discussed was transparency and governance, and with the board and also with our constituents in the community. This is one additional way for us to host various town hall meetings throughout the community in various parts, Jensen Beach, Indiantown, Stewart, to be able to allow our constituents and community members to submit online questions and give staff an opportunity to answer those questions thoroughly and be able to present in a town hall setting in an open question and answers type series. We look forward to these, and it's an additional way for the community to reach out directly to staff, which will be in attendance at those meetings beyond just your traditional monthly board meeting, where we are not able to enter into that dialogue and engage back and forth. So I look forward to seeing everyone at our first town hall meeting tomorrow at J.D. Parker, 6 o'clock p.m. If you have not RSVP'd to attend yet, please do so online. There is a link to be able to RSVP. If you're not able to make tomorrow evenings, they will be recorded, as well as 3 additional town hall series events that will be forthcoming. So look for that information. Welcoming our class of 2037, blast off to kindergarten. A pre-K through 12th grade enrollment for the upcoming 24-25 school year will begin on February 7th. Coinciding with the opening of the enrollment period, the district will host its annual kindergarten blast-off event for families of incoming kindergartners at each of our elementary schools. Families will have the opportunity to tour their children's future school, meet with the leadership team, visit a kindergarten classroom, and learn more about how they can prepare their child for success in elementary school. Staff will provide families with information on our school meal and transportation programs, extended day after school care opportunities, and how to enroll their child. And we encourage families of incoming pre-kindergarten, VPK, kindergarten, and any new students in grades 1st through 12th grades to keep an eye on our website for the latest information about enrollment for next school year. And last but certainly not least, our master class supporting student growth. The Office of Public Information has worked extensively with Principal Stacy Schmidt, who is here in the audience this evening at Bessie Creek Elementary, to produce a series of masterclass videos for families of elementary age students who are embarking on their educational journeys here in Martin County. These short videos offer guidance and support to families with topics such as building literacy skills in infants and toddlers, kindergarten readiness, the technical side of learning to read, and the switch from learning to read to reading to learn. The video I am going to share with you this evening touches on supporting learning once school is underway. Let's take a look.
Once school is underway. Once school is underway for your children and the soft skills are under control, there's a whole lot of academic learning happening. Relationships make all of the difference. The only difference between this and this for a student is that someone with whom they've made a connection and whom they value has told them that that is the letter A. Before learning happens, a relationship happens. You can help your children and positively impact their relationships with teachers by talking to them about school, their teachers, and about learning. The more excited you are about school and their teacher, the more excited they will be.
This is just an example of the videos that will be shared throughout this series. We want to thank Principal Schmidt and her work with our professional public information office, so thank you for doing that. Madam Chair, at this time, this concludes the superintendent's update.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board for any of the other information-only reports? Go ahead, Ms. Roberts.
So I was wondering if Mr. LaBarbera can get us, and maybe just send to the board members, the number of students that we're talking about that are trying to do that retake, in the retake window. Yeah, if you could give us that, maybe by school and by, so we'll know what the number is that we're looking at for that. And then the other thing is I wanted to clarify with Ms. Sessa that we have 21, we really truly have 21 open instructional positions. Is that what I'm gathering from your report? Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay. I know it's not quite time for public comment, but we can go ahead and get started. And if there's anyone that comes in, they can join us afterwards. Citizens' input is vital to the improvement of our district. Most times, your remarks may be listened to without comment from the board members or superintendent. This does not mean they are heard with any less intensity or concern. Where appropriate, the superintendent and staff will investigate your comments and report back to you and the board with an answer. We thank you for taking the time and having the concern to make our district better. Your presentation to the board should not exceed 3 minutes. First up, Principal Gifford.
Madam Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Maine, my name is Lauren Gifford, and I stand before you today as the proud principal at Port Salerno Elementary School, the first Avid elementary school in the Martin County School District. I'd like to take a few moments to celebrate our successes, highlight the impact of Avid, and the positive things happening on campus. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to our dedicated teachers and support staff, supportive parents, and incredible student scholars who make our community vibrant and successful. A point of pride for PSC is the improvement in academic performance with our most recent improvement in our school's grade. Avid's emphasis on critical thinking has not only elevated our scholars' academic achievements, but has also instilled a passion for lifelong learning. Our scholars are developing the skills necessary to succeed in higher education. Over the past few years, our school has focused on implementing targeted strategies to enhance academic achievement, data-driven instruction, and personalized learning plans have become cornerstones of our approach. As a result, we've seen a remarkable rise in our standardized test scores. Our AVID program has played a pivotal role in shaping the academic landscape of our school. As you walk the halls, you will see college pennants proudly displayed and rigorous student products with student-set goals on the walls. Inside our classrooms, AVID strategies such as focused note-taking, collaborative inquiry, and goal setting have empowered our scholars to become engaged learners. Our scholars have participated in AVID college fairs with Martin County High School seniors, taken a field trip to IRSC to learn about dual enrollment and college and career options, and in a few weeks they will be traveling to Jensen Beach High School to visit CTE classrooms. After-school clubs have expanded as a commitment to providing a well-rounded education at PSE. Our 10 after-school clubs offer a diverse range of opportunities, allowing our scholars to explore and cultivate their interests beyond the traditional classroom setting. Whether it's the arts, sciences, dance, or community service, these clubs serve as a platform for students to discover their passions and develop new skills. Clubs have performed at school events, and our chorus performed at the December My Favorite Things art event in Stewart, and our spirit crew most recently at this weekend's Martin Luther King Jr. Stewart Parade. In conclusion, I am proud of the strides we have made as an AVID school, the positive trajectory, and I'm enthusiastic about the future possibilities. The improvements are a testament to the dedication and collaborative spirit of our entire school community. Thank you so much for your support, and please come visit us.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Blaine Parker.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Maine. My name is Blaine Parker. This is my service dog, Anna, down here. I'm a retired Navy veteran and a speech-language pathologist who was hired through a contract company in 2022 and assigned to South Fork High School. My caseload was enormous, with more than 100 students. At the beginning of this school year, I was reassigned to J.D. Parker, leaving South Fork without a therapist. It's my understanding that South Fork was finally able to secure a speech-language pathologist in October. However, that person will no longer be working for the district, and South Fork will again be without an SLP. While working at J.D. Parker, I learned that they previously had 2 full-time SLPs who had been there for 10 years. They were told that they were going to be reassigned to different schools and would be responsible for the supervision of a speech-language pathology assistant. Neither one of them was willing to take on the additional responsibility for supervising an assistant for no extra pay. Therefore, they resigned and went to a different school district making more money. When I was reassigned to J.D. Parker, I was tasked with supervising an assistant with a caseload of more than 110 students. I was responsible not only for the management of the entire caseload, but responsible for making sure the assistant was doing her job. I completed all the evaluations. I wrote all the IEPs, attended all the meetings, completed all the progress notes, and was still expected to provide therapy. This all for no additional compensation. The assistant wasn't fulfilling her duties, despite my support, leading to her eventual termination. A second SLP was finally hired for the school in December. However, after realizing the enormity of the caseload, she resigned after only 1 week. She was quickly hired elsewhere, making significantly more for a much smaller caseload. This highlights a broader issue. Speech-language pathologists in Martin County with extensive education and responsibilities are paid significantly less than surrounding counties. Additionally, the enormous caseload makes working here undesirable. Given my experience this year with being reassigned to another school that's understaffed, and the added responsibility of supervision and training, as well as caseload management, this position is not sustainable. Therefore, I have submitted my resignation. I grew up in Martin County, went to Martin County schools, live here, have raised my family here. I would love to work for the district as an employee rather than working for a contract agency, if the district would make some positive changes for our department and our students. However, at this time, I cannot afford to with the current pay. I appreciate your time and your listening to my story. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Leonilla Swan.
What's the name? Leonilla Swan.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Main. My name is Lenny Suwan. I am an ESC teacher at Bessie Creek Elementary. My students call me Miss Lenny. I am reading a letter on behalf of Melinda Brault, a concerned parent of twins in my class. Dear Superintendent Main and distinguished board members, I am the parent of special needs twins who are in first grade at Bessie Creek Elementary. The staff have been nothing short of amazing given our circumstances, and we couldn't be happier with the school choice. My son Tristan has autism spectrum disorder, is nonverbal, and receives physical therapy, occupational therapy, vision therapy, and language therapy. My daughter Violet has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair to move around the school campus. She receives physical therapy, occupational therapy, language therapy, and speech therapy. Receiving these therapies at school is vital to their quality of life, to their ability to access the curriculum, and to communicate. I want to make it clear that my concern is absolutely not based on the quality and capability of therapists that I have come to know and love. I have confidence in their dedication to their work. My concern is that the school district is not providing these capable therapists with the time they need to adequately do their jobs, given the increasing caseloads. Our entire school district has a critical shortage of therapists, most importantly, speech and language pathologists. And despite their hard work, they cannot accommodate and adequately provide the therapy services that are indicated on my children's individual education plan, or IEP. In addition, my children have had 4 different physical therapists this school year alone due to resignations of these very important people. I cannot stress enough the significance of having consistency between the therapists and the special needs children. Many of you are parents yourself, and can no doubt identify with my commitment to do whatever I can to advocate for the well-being of my children. I am reaching out to you, not only as elected officials, policymakers, and community leaders, but also as parents. I urge your attention to this vital matter. Please know I'm available for a phone call or meeting to discuss this item further. Thank you for your service and your time and attention on this issue. Signed, Melinda Bolt. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Beth Smith?
Good afternoon. I'm here in support of the speech pathologist. Having been in an education system for 44 years, 20 of that being at the administrative level, both at district and schools, and especially elementary, speech pathologists are important. They're so overburdened when they have to supervise speech pathologist aides that it makes the task overwhelming, and it doesn't work. Kids lose out on services, their meetings are cut short, or they try to group them. It doesn't always work, and speech pathologists service a wide variety of issues. And I printed this out. This is a PowerPoint for parents and school personnel on what speech and language pathologists do. You know, if you don't know about it, you think maybe it's just correcting stutters and small speech issues. It's a wide gamut of things that they do to help kids survive in the school district and make them better students. So I wish you would really consider what you're doing. We are 46 in the state in salary, and that's why you have openings, and that's why you're losing people. You're expecting them to do double the work for less pay than they can get in the 2 counties on either side of us. So I think that it's about time to start doing something. We're going into February and still no contract for the teachers. This has got to stop. You need to do something before you lose the good personnel you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Fran Roundberger?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, School Board, and Superintendent Main. I am also here for the speech language pathologist. I am really sorry that this is the 3rd time in a year that I've heard about this issue. I'm very encouraged by what I see going on in our district, but it's sad that they have to keep coming up here and asking for help. I'm encouraged to hear we only have 21 open positions, so I think we've got a real opportunity to help the pathologist. The overall number of employees and contracted SPLs have dropped from the previous years. We have unfilled positions in the district with the addition of 2 recent resignations and 1 that was removed. The district indicates it is 98% filled, which is awesome, but that is not true for the speech language area. The board needs to recognize speech language pathologists as critical shortage and act immediately. Measures need to be taken that would make Martin County more attractive for recruitment and retention, but also superior to like-sized districts. We need a fair and competitive compensation package for the speech language pathologists. This issue has been going on for far too long. I appreciate any attention you can give to this matter. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Zena Fayek?
Good afternoon. The district reports 98% staffed, but that's not true for speech language pathologists. There are schools without any therapists and schools that should have more than 1 therapist and only has 1, making it impossible to do the remediation that is required. More money needs to go to the speech language therapist program for retention and recruitment. Mediocre pay compared to like-sized districts and unrealistic caseloads should not be the norm in Martin County. Thank you.
Thank you. Robert Ward.
Good afternoon. I'm here once again to talk about wages for your staff and your teachers. My eldest daughter is a educator in a couple counties south of here, and she, when she was 16 years old, took on a job at Publix. When she went through college, she continued her job at Publix. When she graduated from college, she took a job as an educator. She continued her job at Publix. I believe she's been at Publix for 18 years now, still working Publix part-time. She holds 2 master's degrees, and on top of that, to supplement her income, she's also a tutor. Now, this to me is a highly educated person. She represents education in Florida. She works in a county that's one of the higher paid counties in the state, and you guys aren't even close to that. I don't know how you anticipate to hire good quality staff simply by having weekly job fairs. It just doesn't happen. I work in private enterprise, and in the past 2 years, we've recognized a 30% increase in wages simply because we were understaffed and cannot get good quality employees. Today, when I was at lunch, I was walking through the parking lot, I found this. This is a penny. I bent my back down and I picked it up off the ground. Most people walk by this penny, but this penny represents 1% of $1. Now you tell me, what can anybody do with this penny in this world today? Facts being, with $1, you can't do anything with it. Maybe get a pack of gum. So when you give these employees wage rates of 3%, 4%, it just doesn't cut it. I don't want to get too personal here, but I was reading an article, just going back, Mr. Main, when he became superintendent, you voted him pretty quickly. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm quoting a T.C. Palm article, he recognized a 30% increase simply based on the guy before him. Just a change of name. Pay your staff. You need good quality staff. These young kids today are the future of this county, the future of this state. Fool around if you want to, but these are the ones that are going to be messing around with your pension funds, your 401ks. Think back to 2008 when everybody had to go back to work because they lost their investments. These are the future. You want them highly educated. They're going to represent you. They represent me. They represent the county. They represent the state. And they're educated by these teachers. So I encourage you to please, please, please make this a priority. Really quickly, I stopped today at Publix, bought a can of chunky noodle soup. Cost me $3.35. Don't need it. Bought it. $3.35 represents 3.35% of a $100 bill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Principal Schmidt.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Main. I actually filled out the form so that I could talk about our blast off to kindergarten, and then it was addressed by Superintendent Main. So I just wanted to tell all of the families that all of our elementary schools are going to be open on the evening of February 7th, and to make sure that they come with all of their questions and come check out all of our neighborhood schools, because our schools are fantastic. They're gonna love what they see, and they have the opportunity to check out a day in the life of the kindergarten student and to enjoy the time that they're gonna spend there from 5:30 to 6:30. So please come to our event on February 7th. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes public comment, and now we will move on to our action-only items. Item number 7.02, new job description, coordinator of maintenance. Ms. Powers?
Yes, so I just asked, when I met with Superintendent Main, I wanted him to explain this position because it does fall outside of our regular budget process. And I think it's important for the public to understand how those dollars are being accounted for, and that I just think it's really important for information, and that I would prefer that items like this not be on the consent agenda, because I think it's important that the public be informed. So if you want to just kind of explain this position and how it's going to be funded.
Yes, ma'am. So the coordinator of maintenance was requested by our maintenance department director, Brian, in reference to needing someone to oversee some of the many projects that are happening throughout the district. We have a very small staff in our maintenance team. They are closing out in thousands of work orders with the limited number of positions that they currently have. We have, and it's important that Brian is single-handedly the one going around checking up, following up on all of these work orders, making sure that they're closed out and our schools are receiving the level of customer service that we would expect. Through the request of Brian, he has 3 positions that are currently open and have been open for quite some time, and we've been managing the workload and in closing out these the work orders without these 3 positions being filled. So the only reason for bringing this position forward to the board is because Brian has made the leadership decision to eliminate these 3 positions. So this would be a cost-neutral position in order to create the coordinator of maintenance. So it is not costing additional dollars to the district. We are taking 3 positions that have currently been unfilled for a long period of time, and Brian feels that this would best serve his department to have a coordinator to be able to assist in serving schools. Those 3 positions are the irrigation specialist, utility worker, and an AC mechanic, all of which, again, have not been filled for a period of time, and the work orders are still being closed at the level of service, the level at which we would expect, and I would like to be able to approve this position for Brian. His team is doing a phenomenal job. They're incredible at what they do, and believe that this position would significantly help.
Thank you, Mr. Main. I appreciate you explaining that. I just really think it's important that when we're creating new positions that we explain how we're going to pay for them, especially when we're outside of the budget process. I move approval of 7.02.
Second. All right. Oh, you have a question as well, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, I do. Hold on. So I guess I'm confused because I'm thinking that we're approving a job description, which I think is fine. I don't think that approving a job description means approving a change to the org chart. I think they're 2 different functions. I mean, I like the proactivity of creating positions that could possibly be used, et cetera, and I think that's where a job description piece comes in. And I look to Mrs. Powers. I think if I'm looking at it that way, the job description piece isn't the piece that is
right.
worrisome, et cetera. I think that it requires a second item on the agenda to approve a posting of that job position and an explanation that in filling this position, this is what the old org chart would look like, this is what the new org chart will look like, this is what the funding for the first one was, this is what the funding for the second one will be. I don't think just merely approving a job description means that we as a board are approving the ability to fill that position.
Well, I feel like, I agree with you, and when Mr. Main and I met, we did talk about the org chart and that he would be bringing the org chart forward to approve that position this fiscal year. And the other position that was originally on the agenda, which was a new position with not funded by any other means, that did not go through our budget process, was removed and will be resubmitted during the budget process when that's appropriate. So I agree with you, and it was my belief that Mr. Main, it will be submitting that org chart revision with that position on it.
Okay, so I guess my point is that I think that whether it's in the budget cycle, outside of the budget cycle, I think that we have an approved org chart, And we have position descriptions that are open that we do not have posted, that we do not have filled. They're just like, whether you want to call it a placeholder or whatever else. But the language of this, of where these are going to be eliminated, this I don't think is appropriate for this item. I think the appropriateness for this item is that this is a position that could be used and what the point of that position is. I think then when we have the second item that's on the agenda, that's an action item, I don't believe that that changes to the org chart should be coming through a consent agenda. I think that those should be on a regular action item and explain at that point in time what we're doing.
Well, and I appreciate that, but the general public sees a brand-new position and they see money tied to it. So it really isn't for us. The explanation wasn't for you. It was really for the public to understand why we were approving the job description and how it was going to be paid for.
Okay.
So it was really for the public, not really for the board itself. Because when I see that as a member of the public, I would think they're approving a brand new position and here's how much it's going to cost. Where are they getting the money? And we're negotiating right now. We have a lot of issues going on related to money. And I thought it was really important that the superintendent explain how that was going to be funded.
Sure, and I think the concerning statement on this agenda item is the statement that says 3 current vacant positions outlined in maintenance will be eliminated to support the salary of the addition of a coordinator. I think it's that statement that alerts the public and makes the public think that that's what it is that we're doing, where that isn't what we're doing. Correct?
That is correct. And point of clarification, this is approval of only the job description. This is not a request to actually fill the position. So if I wasn't clear on that in my attempt to explain to the public the reason for bringing the position in the job description forward, I apologize. But this is approval of the job description to also show that it will be added into with the org chart coming forward to the board for approval at a later date.
So Marcia and Amy, your motion and second is to approve the job description, not to approve the filling of the job description, correct?
Right, I'm approving the item with the explanation that the superintendent gave. Yes,
Okay.
that
Thank
was
you.
my intent.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board? Okay, seeing none, I have a motion by Ms. Powers, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We are going to stop for just a moment because we do have 5 o'clock time certain for the public. If there's anyone else that wanted to speak, now's the time to let us know. We do have one more. Cindy Summers, if you would please come forward.
Okay, first of all, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, proceed.
I can't hear.
I don't think it's on. Can you hear me now?
It's a little better.
Is it on? Now, can you hear me now?
Yes, go
I
ahead.
don't think it's on, but anyway. Oh, is it okay? All right. Good evening, board members and Superintendent Main. My name is Cindy Summers. Why do Moms for Liberty hysterically proclaim there are pornographic books in school classrooms and libraries when clearly there aren't any? They know this, or should know this. They can keep on searching for such books, but they aren't going to find any. No teacher or librarian would allow it. No one wants pornography in our schools, but not one of the 98 books banned in Martin County contain pornography, bestiality, eroticism, or sadomasochism. Almost all were removed under slide 11. The board knows this, and they can check with the board to verify it. And why are they so laser focused on sexuality? And what about their implausible fear that school instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity will turn, quote, their child gay or bi or LGBTQ? Empirical data from Scientific America and the National Institute of Health suggests that, among other factors, an atypical endocrine condition during prenatal development explains sexual identity. No instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity is going to change that prenatal condition. Their children aren't going to be turned into anything other than what they already are. If Moms for Liberty members are heterosexual, were they turned that way as children? And what if their own child is of a different sexual orientation? Will they love them any less? Or will they do to others, to their own child, what they are now doing to others? Stigmatize them, shame them, demonize them. And what does the Bible say? James 4:12. There is only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and destroy. But you, who are you to judge your neighbor?
Thank you. That concludes public comment, and we will move forward with our action items. Item number 18.01, school board travel. There's none at this time, so we'll move on to item number 18.02, proposed GMP for the RFQ number 3003-02017NA, Stewart Middle School Phase 2 Replacement Building number 10 project. Are there any questions from the board?
I move approval and thank Mark. Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 18.03, school capacity and choice. Are there any questions from the board? Do I have a motion?
I move approval. I saw that in the, I believe in the update, the letter was changed, but is the online registration form also changed?
So yes, the request for the change on the online form has also been updated with the disclaimer that you asked for.
It explains that if you are given a seat by controlled open enrollment, that your child, the student is allowed to stay there
For
to
the
the
remainder,
highest grade achieved at that school.
Yes.
Correct, okay. I move approval, thank you.
Second that motion.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 18.04, 2024-2025 school start times. Are there any questions from the board? Do I have a motion?
Move approval of school start times.
I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 18.05, request approval to renew Piggyback Palm Beach School District, ITB, number 21C-20C, catalog discounts, miscellaneous janitorial supplies, and accessories.
Move approval of 18.05 as staff recommendation.
Do I have a second? I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 18.06, recommended, sorry about that, recommendation of K-12 science instructional materials. Are there any questions from the board? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Pritchett.
These are in no particular order. I'd like that verification of that so that we know we're voting on not the order that they're in, but whatever the state may say shouldn't be or should be, these cover that so that we're not worried about state approval. Is that correct?
Correct. My name is Jennifer Borges. I'm the K-12 science coordinator. The recommendations that have been placed before the board are just in alphabetical order. We do not, we internally know what the preference is, but because we are waiting for the state approved list, we're going to keep that internal for now.
Ms. Roberts?
And I just want to clarify, does this start the 30-day window for?
Yes, ma'am. The
Okay.
30-day the objection window of the recommendations.
So this starts the 30-day window for public objections for any of these materials.
Correct. And then
Make it
our
part
next
of your
meeting,
motion.
sorry, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I will.
I said if she makes it part of her motion.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to clarify.
Yes, so it starts the objection window, and then the next meeting would be public hearing.
Right. So I move approval of 1806 and would like it noted that this starts the 30-day window for objections.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 19.01, first review of school board policies. Seeing none at this time, we will move on to public hearing of school board policies. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on items number 20.01 through 20.09? Seeing none, we will move forward with our policies. Item number 20.01, policy number 0124, 1210, 3210, and 4210, standards of ethical conduct. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.01?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.02, policy number 1217, 3217, and 4217, weapons rescinded. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none,
Move approval of 20.02, policies 1217, 3217, and 4217 for rescinding.
do I have a second? Second. I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.03, policy number 3700, Teachers' Bill of Rights. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.03, policy number 3700?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.04, policy number 5772 and 7217, weapons. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.04?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.05, policy number 5782, parent guardian notification and permission, school-sponsored events and activities. This is a new policy. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.05?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second by anyone?
Sorry, second.
It's okay. I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.06, policy number 6324, cone of silence. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.06?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett and a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.07, policy number 7540.02, web content, apps, and services. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.07?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.08, policy number 7540.03, student technology acceptable use and safety. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.08?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second? I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Ms. Powers. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.09, policy number 7540.04, staff technology, acceptable use and safety. Are there any questions from the board? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve item number 20.09?
Move approval. 20.09.
I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. That concludes our policies. Moving on, item number 21.01 has been removed. So next up is open to the board. Mr. DiTerlizzi?
I think I'm good today, Madam Chair.
Okay. Ms. Roberts?
Sure. Could we get a clarification as far as, we heard a lot of comments about speech language pathologists, and I just want to have a clarification whether services are being provided to students who have services and need services on their IEPs, or whether we have students that are not being provided services. So is that Wilma or Lisa?
I'm going to defer to Ms. Sanchez. She'll give you the most up-to-date information on the services being provided.
Good evening. My name is Wilma Messica Sanchez. Madam Chair, Board Members, Superintendent Main. We do have, as you can tell, some SOPs that have resigned. However, we have secured other SOPs to cover at particularly South Fork. We do have SOPs that have higher number of minutes. We are trying to mitigate that and find other contracted services to see if we can provide that. If there are any students that have not received services, parents are aware, and we are providing for those students compensatory services. But it's not a large number of students because we do have a great SLP staff that do work very well with our students. So we're trying our best to mitigate those gaps. Is there any other questions?
So are there students in the Martin County School District who have IEP designated SLP services who are not receiving services?
There are some students that have not received services, or there have been a gap of, let's say, even if they don't receive services for 30 days, we're still responsible to provide that. Every school that has not received services, there is a documentation being provided, and we are sharing that with the parents during their IEP meetings, and they're aware of how we're going to be providing the services. We have a timeline for some of the students on their IEP of when we have to provide those compensatory services.
Okay, because I know that we have contract SLPs that help fill in the gaps.
Correct.
So even though we have employee positions that are open, we can still provide services through contract people. Is that correct?
Correct. So we do have a lot more contracted providers than employees, but we do have a large amount of contracted staff at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. The only other comments I had was that SPAM did their open house and had the game reveal on Saturday, January 6th, which was wonderful. And on last Thursday, January 11th, I spoke at the League of Women Voters about funding adopted legislation and controlled open enrollment. So, but thank you.
Very good, thank you. Ms. Pritchett? All right, Ms. Powers?
Yes, just a couple of things. Just a reminder, I know it was mentioned about Celebrate Literacy Week, January 22nd through the 26th. And there is a simultaneous read aloud at 9 a.m. on the Wednesday, the 24th, and you all are welcome in any VPK classroom. The book will be The Little Butterfly That Could, and all of our VPK providers have been or will be given that book. So if you're interested in reading either in our public school or in another VPK, please, I encourage you to do that. I will not be at the February 6th workshop. I have to be in Tallahassee for statewide meetings. And then also, I know at our last meeting, we talked about year-round school, and we talked about using this time to talk about our alternative school calendars. I don't want a lot of time to pass. We discussed that the board is interested in looking at this for the 25-26 school year. I was able to talk with Andrea Messina. I know Ms. Roberts had spoken to one of the current Charlotte County school board members that offer an alternative calendar. Ms. Messina, as you all know, is the executive director of the Florida School Board Association, but she was also a former board member in Charlotte County, and she gave me a lot of insight about the programs that they offer at the 2 schools in their county, and it was a lot different than her feedback was very, very positive in regard to the teachers and the community really embracing it, and also the improvement in scores. So I don't want a lot of time to pass. I think we should probably, at her suggestion, maybe we do a field trip. Maybe if board members are interested in setting up times that we can go and observe what's happening, but also talk to the parents in those schools and what their feedback is. It's been in the 2 schools for 30 years for a reason, and it's really been embraced in those communities. I don't know if that will, we just need to get some facts on what is really happening, and if it's something we want to pursue, we have a year to do that, but I don't want it to go stale on us because it's at the top of our minds right now.
Thank you.
So you're talking about a February 6th workshop? The calendar says we have a February 13th workshop. So it was in the approved calendar, so.
Good catch.
I will be here. Okay.
Well, great.
Good, thanks.
Surprise. All right. Did you have anything else, Ms. Powers?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Mr. Main, did you have anything? Go ahead.
Never mind. You're going to do that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to address the speech language pathologist. Thank you very much for being in the audience and for being here this evening. I want everybody to know for the record, we have monthly labor relations meetings with the union. All of our speech language pathologists are part of the bargaining unit members, MCEA, so their contract is bargained along with our teacher contract. We also meet monthly with labor relations with the union president. The union president brought forward during last month's labor relations meeting, the increase in the potential supplement that our speech language pathologists receive. I also wanted to be note for the record that Mrs. Pritchett and I met with all of the speech language pathologists several months ago to discuss this concern and the services that they provide throughout the district and the work that they do. And it's important to note that while they are in the bargaining unit, they qualify for millage, so they do receive millage on top of their yearly salary, in addition to the supplement that they receive. I believe that the board and myself are committed to making sure that our speech language pathologists have an increase in that supplement. Therefore, at the last bargaining session, it was brought forward by our negotiations team to the union that the board approved that supplement. This is public record now, to go from $1,850 to $5,000. So it'll be a $5,000 supplement in addition to the millage they receive, in addition to their yearly salary. And many of them have advanced degrees. So when we look across the board at their yearly salaries for 196 days, in comparison, many of them are making more than some of our 248-day coordinator positions here at the district office. So I want the public to know that while we are moving forward in making sure that our SLPs are paid appropriately, as they should, we are competitive as opposed to surrounding counties and other districts. So I just wanted to read that into the record and let them know that the board is committed to making sure that there are increases. And I also want to let the record be straight forward that the board put $2 million towards AFSCME salary increases this year for hourly rates. That is historical from the board's perspective. So they are taking huge strides in the right direction to make sure that our employees are being paid appropriately. And I believe that our recruitment office and retention office is doing a phenomenal job in making sure that we are putting pieces in place to make sure that we are listening directly to our employees and taking that information that our employees are giving us, going back to the table, problem solving, and really thinking about ways in which we can retain our employees here at the district. So the board and I are committed, and they are taking steps towards making sure that salaries are increasing across the board and that we are maintaining our competitive ability towards St. Lucie, Indian River, and on the Treasure Coast. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mean. Are there any other questions or comments? All right, this meeting is adjourned.